In this video, we're going to talk about the area formula. The area of a figure is the amount of surface the figure covers. And what that means is when we think about how we can measure this rectangle, we can measure the outside of the rectangle, and that would be measuring the perimeter, which is the distance around the outside. Or we can measure how much space this rectangle encompasses on the inside of the figure, and that's called the area. A way that you're probably most familiar with in thinking of area is thinking about taking the inside of that figure and creating equal squares, okay, squares that are the same size, and thinking about how many squares fill this particular rectangle. So let's use this as our example, and let's say that these are 1-inch squares. So my width is 3 inches because these are 3 squares going down, and my length is 10 inches because I have 10 squares going across. So I have a rectangle that is 10 by 3. Now, in order to find the area, we want to figure out how many squares total are on the inside of this rectangle. So we could count them, and if we counted them, we could count by 10. Since we have 10 going across, that'd be 10, 20, 30. And we know that our figure would cover 30 square inches. But you may not always want to draw squares on the inside of your figures, so we need to have a formula. So the formula is length times width, because if I multiply the length, which is 10, times the width, which is 3, I'm still going to end up with 30, because 10 times 3 is 30. And then whenever you're writing your units are always squared, okay, because we're multiplying inches times inches, which is inches squared. So whenever you're trying to find the area of a particular figure, all you need to do is multiply the length times the width, and it will give you the area, which is how many squared units will fit inside of that particular figure.